Hi, students. After looking at your answers for your extended response questions for the Gift of the Magi that you did in class, I want to take a minute to address how we should fully and completely answer extended response questions for this class, for other classes, and when you're expected to do this on the AIR test in spring. I've developed an acronym that helps me answer extended response questions to the best of my ability every time, called SLAMS 2. The S in SLAM stands for sentences. So you always want to answer using complete sentences. The L stands for lines. Be sure it's several lines long. Generally, 3 to 5 sentences should suffice. The A stands for answer, which means be sure to answer all parts of the question being asked. Many of you did not do this. Often an extended response question has several questions within that question. So you want to be sure you're answering all of those to get your full points. The M stands for mechanics. So go back and proofread for proper grammar. It may sound nitpicky, but often your grammar can affect the meaning that people interpret from your answers. So grammar is important. The S stands for spelling. Please use proper spelling to the best of your ability. And the 2 stands for details. Provide at least 2 supporting details to back up your claim in your answer. That could be direct quotes from the text, or it can just be fully explaining specific examples from the story. So let's take a look at some sample responses that I would expect to see on some of these questions. So the directions are important. It says always answer the following questions using complete sentences. If you look right here, it says complete sentences. Many people did not use complete sentences and supporting details from the story, okay? The first question says, describe the situational irony at length in the story. What do Jim and Della expect about the holiday, but what really happens? What is the real gift given? So you'll see that there are several questions here that do need to be addressed, okay? Now, situational irony is when expectation is different from reality. So you can kind of start by restating that definition in your answer in the beginning. So let's take a look at what I wrote here. It says the gift giving in the story is ironic because Della expects that Jim will really love and use his watch fob chain. Jim also expects that Della will really love and use the combs he buys for her hair. However, none of these gifts are useful because Della cuts off her hair and sells it to buy the watch fob, and Jim sells his pocket watch to buy her hair combs. This simply demonstrates that the true gift is their love for each other because neither are upset about this situation. They know they love each other since they sacrifice their most prized possession selflessly. So you'll see my response is 5 sentences long. I talk about the expectation and then I talk about the reality while using specific examples. I always tell kids, when you're using examples, don't be vague, okay? I know that you know the examples from the story and I know that I know them, but you still need to prove that you know this by being specific. So I tell you, pretend that you're helping someone cheat. Perhaps your best friend didn't read the story. So try and provide specific examples that someone who hadn't read the story would still understand your answer. Let's also take a look at this question about theme. It says come up with a theme statement as a group. Be sure it follows the 5 rules of theme, and then use specific examples to back up your claim. Several responses did not follow the 5 rules, so make sure you have your handout and your notes out while you're answering these questions to help you. And then again, be sure you're answering all parts, which is providing these specific details. Let's review the 5 rules real quick. So the first is that it must be a complete sentence. It needs to be a universal idea. Avoid cliches, and the use of personal pronouns. I saw lots of themes with the word you in it. And then lastly, no commands, like people should be kind to others. So let's look at this sample response. It says, a possible theme for this story is love is a better gift than material possessions. Della sells her hair, her most prized possession, to make Jim happy. Conversely, Jim sells his most prized possession, his watch, to make Della happy. Since they both make a sacrifice to make the other person happy, this shows that material possessions are not important. So I'm giving a theme statement, but then I'm explaining it using context from the story. So these are my expectations for the types of answers that you will write. Complete sentences, very specific supporting details, and fully explain your answer and answer all parts of the question. So hopefully this helps you moving forward answering these types of questions because we'll be doing this a lot this year. Thanks so much. Have a great day.